Hi guys, how's it going? So I guess I'm live. Hopefully everything is working all right. I am in my craft room this afternoon. I was cleaning up a bit and I decided I wanted to do some crafting. So I thought I would go ahead and turn on the camera and see if anybody is out there with the day off. I know it's still a little bit early in the evening. I'm on the West Coast, or I should say I'm in Arizona, not quite the West Coast, but it's about 2:40 here. And I had hoped to start at 2:30, but I was just kind of running around getting some things ready in the craft room before I went live. So I do apologize for being a little bit late. But today what we're going to work on are some masculine cards. And hi Pam, how are you? Sound is good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I think we've got past that hurdle, so I'm glad about that. And I can start playing with my setup a little bit more. But so yeah, so I thought we would make some masculine cards today. I know a lot of people are a little bit weary about masculine cards. They don't feel comfortable making masculine cards, but I wanted to go ahead and do some of those today. And see what we can come up with. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I have a really great Montgomery Ward. Let's see if I can switch this over here. All right, yeah, so I have a really great Montgomery Ward catalog that I got at an estate sale here in Prescott. So you've got snow. We're expecting snow tonight too, Pam. So I might be doing the same thing you're doing right now. But yeah, so I have this really cool, let's see if I can bring this down a bit. I have this really cool catalog that I got in an estate sale, and it has some really great advertisements for clothing, household goods, all sorts of things. Games. I use some of these for the holidays. But yeah, this is how people used to, shop. They didn't have a a mall they could go to. They didn't have Amazon they could order from. So they had Sears and they had Montgomery Wards. So I was able to get my hands on this catalog, and yeah, I do take the pages out, but that's really the only way that I can scan them and use them. But I'm real careful about all the pages that I take out. So when I take these out, I cut these really good, so I'm not tearing them, so that way I can scan them and use them in my digitals. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. I thought we could do some sort of I don't know, like maybe hats or something like that. I'm going to be using my new labels called Haberdashery, and that is what stores used to be called back then, or haberdasheries. So I thought we could maybe play with these. And I made these hats using my new Scan and Cut. Yeah, the catalog is great, Kay. I was very excited when I found it. I go to a few estate sales here in Arizona, so I was very excited when I found it. I have a Sears catalog as well, but I had never seen a Montgomery Ward's catalog, so that was a great find for me. So I went ahead and also with my Scan and Cut, I got a new Scan and Cut for Christmas, so I cut out some of these hats that we'll see what we can do with my Scan and Cut. Also, I cut out some letters that say hats, so maybe we'll do something with those. And then I also got out some of my vintage labels. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do exactly here. I know we're going to make some masculine cards. So I've got a few things here on my desk. So these are the catalog pages that I scanned and I put in my shop. So if you guys want to try these designs that we'll be working on today, these are in the dollar section. So if you go over to Taylormadecards4u.com, you can find these in the dollar section. And the haberdashery labels are there as well. So whenever I'm crafting, if there is anything I use from the shop, I try to mention that. And also I have the links in my description box below, so you can check that out as well. All right, so that's kind of what I'm using from my shop. Now I also grabbed some of my Tim Holtz stamp sets. So this is a fun one. It's called Dapper, and you can still get it at Simon Says Stamp, and also Stampers Anonymous still has it there. You can't really find it at a lot of the shops anymore because this is an older stamp set, but I remember when I was looking for it, it was hard for me to find. But yeah, it's still available. You just have to find it. And then I brought out some of these other ones. This is called Etc., but it's got some real good journals, a 15-cent stamp. I'm not sure if we'll use all of these, but like I said, I grabbed stamps that I thought would work well together. I've got my sentiment sheet, which is called Tiny Text. I just grabbed these. I'm not sure if we'll use these or not, but this is the mail art. And then I have these cling stamps from Finnabar, which are kind of, you know, invoices and whatnot. So we'll see if we can maybe sneak any of these in. And then couple more stamp sets here. I don't know what this one is called, but it looked kind of masculine. It looked like it was something maybe we could work with. And then these two. So as you can see, I have quite a few stamps on my desk. Not sure if we'll get to all of them, but certainly these all would be great for masculine cards. So let's see. Now I know the first card I want to do is this one here. So we might make a couple cards today. Well, depends. Not sure. I don't have any plans as far as how long I'm going to go. Like I said, I just wanted to make some masculine cards. And I'm drinking some eggnog with a little bit of Jack Daniels in there, so hopefully we won't get a little bit too crazy here. That we still have some eggnog, so I'm drinking that as I craft. All right, so I also cut out some white cardstock so I could be somewhat prepared here. And I'm gonna grab my stamping platform here. All right, so yeah, my Misty graph sheet was a mess, and of course I used the last one without making copies. So I just grabbed one of my old graph sheets and stuck it in here, and I think it'll be fine. I think it'll work. It doesn't have to say Misty on it to work. All right, so here's my idea, guys. I wanted to use this set here and put him in the middle, and then maybe put some advertising around it. I thought that would be kind of fun. So that's what we're going for. So we'll see if we can accomplish it. So yeah, Donna, the stamps, I love Tim Holtz stamp sets. I used to get all of them, and then I decided I don't necessarily like all of them. So now I just get the ones that I like. So I like making masculine cards too. I know, like I said, a lot of people are not completely comfortable with those, but I don't have a problem with them. All right, so let's just kind of line this up a bit here. So I think I want to use this, but you know what, I think my paper needs to be a little bit bigger. So already I'm not prepared. Maybe we'll use a smaller label to start with. I really wanted to use this one though. Alright, so it's going to be matted on this. And I think if I mat it first, I might have enough room. Yeah, me too, Donna. Most of the stamps that Tim comes out with I like. Not crazy about some of the cutesy ones. I like the ones that have the old vintage labels, the old signs, you know, anything that looks vintage I kind of like. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't typically mat my card first, but I think I need the extra for my label to work. So we'll give it a try. And put this down. So I'm just kind of doing my layout here first. So I know I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do this. All right, so let's do that first. And of course, we're going for the vintage inspired, so we'll be using some brown tones. All right, so let's give it a try here. So I got a new program that enables me to make these labels. I made this label. So next year I plan on adding more labels to my shop because I just love these old-fashioned labels. I think they're awesome. And it's a lot of fun to play to create them too. So I plan on adding more of those to the shop. I have a couple of them now. I have an apothecary one and the haberdashery one. But I'm gonna create some more and then of course get some of them added to my kits. All right, and did I bring any paper towels? I said I tried to get prepared, but sometimes it doesn't always work. And if I can sneak in using my new wax seals, maybe I'll make a card using those as well. See, that's what I was afraid of. So I hate when that happens. Sometimes when I'm doing my ink, I just can't get it perfect. And I want perfection, so I'm going to pull this off and do it again. I want it to be perfect. And I want my paper to be bigger. So I'm going to cut a bigger piece of paper. Hold tight. All right, so I'm going to stamp my scene and then cut my card according to the size of my stamps. So I'm gonna make it work, guys, because I want this to show. So I've got some really great stamp cleaner, and I should have done this before I got on camera. That's okay. So this stamp cleaner that I got it on Amazon. It stays on stamp cleaner and it works awesome. I know that you can, you know, use water, but that just really cleans my pad. Look at how clean that makes it. So whenever I have problems and my stamping isn't coming out crisp, I will use this because I just love how clean it makes it. And especially with some of these stamps that have, you know, openings. All right, so I'm gonna just get all that extra ink off. I don't normally clean my stamps after every stamping. and sometimes it gets the buildup. All right, so hopefully that'll work. And then, so it's not oily. I'm sure you guys didn't join me to see me cleaning my stamps, so I apologize for that. All right. Yeah, the StazOn Sherry, I put it into this jar, so I got the bigger jar and I just refilled this one so I can spray it, and it's a great stamp cleaner. In fact, I'll link it for you guys because I really think it's a great cleaner, especially when you get buildup on some of these stamps. All right, so let's try this again. Okay, so now that will definitely fit. I know I'm going to trim my card down, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right. So Pam's saying if you use the StazOn cleaner stamps that aren't red rubber, you need to wash it off right away. So the StazOn doesn't work with red rubber, is that what you're saying? Most of my stamps that I use are red rubber, so I've never had a problem with it. But so like, are you saying the acrylic, if you use it with acrylic? Yeah, can you elaborate? All right. Now I'm going to be very light-handed this time because I don't want to get ink in between. So yeah, if you're light-handed, then you won't get it in between, and that's what I'm trying to do. So okay, so the StazOn cleaner is meant for red rubber. Yeah, that's all I use it for. I mean, I've never, the red rubber is deep. It has all the grooves, and I like the StazOn. Oh, perfect. I like the StazOn stamp cleaner because it gets into all the nooks and crannies. So, you know, I've never used it on the acrylic stamps. I have acrylic stamps, but those aren't necessarily my favorite. I like the red rubber stamps. All right, that's perfect. Okay, so, and see, just by doing a little bit of cleaning, I was able to clean up my image, so I was happy about that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is this guy. And I always end up getting ink in between here. So we're going to see if maybe we can do something about that. All right, so I'm going to put, if you have painter's tape, this works as well, but I just want to make sure that I don't get any of the ink in between here. Yeah, I can believe that, Pam. So Pam's saying she thinks it's the photopolymer stamps. Those are a little bit thinner, a little bit cheaper, dare I say. And this is an alcohol based, and it does have chemicals in it. And I think that's why it cleans so well. But yeah, I can believe that. All right, so I'm going to put this here. All right. Boy, I'm so glad that I figured out the whole audio thing. That was just getting very, very annoying. All right, and I'm using black soot. So I'm wondering if I want to use some browns. Let's see, what browns do I have? All right, so I have this Memento Rich Cocoa. Let's see how that looks. Or should I, you know what, I'm going to stay with the archival first. Okay, so I can make a couple. So again, I'm kind of light-handed because I don't want to get my ink on the edges. Even a seasoned stamper can get a little rambunctious, should I say, with their ink pads sometimes. So here we go. Ah, it still happens. Look at that. But you know what? We're going to cover it, so I might get away with it. So again, just trying not to get that extra ink. On. All right. So if anybody has any tips for that, I mean, whenever you have this open space, you always risk getting the extra ink on your image. But I know I'm going to be covering this. So that works perfectly. So I'm going to be able to fudge it a little bit. But I have a lot of problem with that stamp, but it's a pretty awesome stamp. So if I wanted to stamp another image in here. Oh, Pam, yes. So that's what I should have done. So I should have inked it up and then pulled the tape off. Yep, you're right. And then that way any of the excess ink would have been on the tape. Yes, yes. Okay. All right, that makes sense. And it's funny how, you know, you can be a crafter for a long, long time and you just don't think of some of the basic stuff. All right, so I'm gonna find a light gray here. Okay. Just adding some gray into my hat. Right. Yeah, what Pam is saying is just ink it several times with a light hand. And then if I see any ink, clean it up like I did with the other one. Yeah, I mean, you just got to definitely have a light hand, especially when you have open space like this. It's kind of a you know, a unique, different kind of a stamp. But I love it. All right, so I'm going to trim this down now that I have my, it's going to be a size that's not a normal size, but I'm going to trim it according to the size of my label here, and that'll be the size of my card. Six. Make this a little tighter. All right, so yeah, so this is a little less than 5 inches. So the card isn't going to be a 5x7. It'll be a little bit bigger than that. But I want it to be able to fit my whole merchant. And I don't like cards that go horizontal. I like the vertical cards. But yeah. All right, so I'll make that work. Okay, so I know I'm going to put this here. But I think before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add some distress ink. Alright, so I got some of my inks out. And they're around here somewhere. Let's see. Literally, guys, I pulled out all my stuff thinking, okay, I might use this, I might use that. And then I can't find my inks. Oh, they're there. Okay, so antique linen is always a favorite of mine. Okay, so I'm just gonna color it up. All right. So I have a few things on my list that I'm gonna have to order, even though we just had Christmas. I wanted to kind of stock up on some staples in the craft room. Not necessarily stamps, but you know, things that you use for everyday card making. I know I need some more heavy cardstock, so I got to get some of that. It's the stuff that I don't get excited about buying, but you know, you have to get. So I'm gonna be doing that this week, and I'm so glad that I don't have to work at all this week, so I can just do whatever I want. Even though I work at home, you know, when you're working you can't play, so I might not have as much time on the road, but I still don't have a lot of time to play during the day. So is everybody working this week, or what's everybody doing this week? Do they have off between Christmas and New Year, or are y'all working? All right, and that was, what was that one? That was tea dye. And then this is vintage photo. But I want to add, this is walnut stain. Walnut stain is also a favorite of mine. It's like I said, dark chocolate. Now ordinarily, if I know I'm going to kind of age up my cardstock, I would do that first. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for my cards, so that's why I'm actually adding ink after the fact. But ordinarily I would add my ink first. But again, I'm just aging up my card a little bit. So that looks pretty good, I think. Okay, now I can go ahead and add my label. So this is gonna go here. I think this is the perfect middle too, because it kind of looks like a face a little bit. So I think it's gonna fit perfectly. Kind of excited about that. And let me just add some walnut stain to this as well. I don't want any white spots showing. All right. So yeah, I know, Pam, I think you said you have some snow. We're expecting snow tonight as well. It kind of sure was cold outside earlier. But yeah, we're expecting some snow tonight as well. So it would have been nice to get it for Christmas, but that's okay. Okay, so this is gonna go, I wonder if I should have popped it up. Yeah, Well, but I want to cover. Yeah, maybe I'll pop it up. All right. Rethinking what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to pop it up. So this is another thing I need to buy, are these foam dots. I am running out of these. And I want to get the strips, I think. But I like the dots as well for small items. But yeah, that's another thing that I'm going to stock up on because I'm almost out of these. And I just like the height it gives the cards. All right. So I think after this week, I'm probably going to go back to just doing lives once a week. So do you guys have any recommendations as to what dates would be best, or what days I should say, not dates necessarily, but what days would be best for the lives? I was doing them on Sundays at 2 o'clock. But I am open to any suggestions. All right, I think that looks really good. So I like to mat my cards, but I think it needs more. What do you guys think? I think it needs more. So I don't want to necessarily put a big old label. I could put that, but that would be off. All right, let me see what other stamp sets I have here. Let's see, so numbers might be good. Let's see, just trying to figure out what I can do to fill the space here. Transferable, I want it to make sense. I don't want to necessarily just put something arbitrary. So I want it to make sense. The finger pointing up from the bottom. So let's see. All right, so here is this one. Yeah, I might, it's gonna cut off a lot in the bottom left corner. Yeah, like right here. Yeah, maybe. Not sure how it's gonna look half cut off. It might look all right. I like the telegram too. All right, so all right, I think I'm gonna go with the telegram. Okay, and then maybe I'll put some numbers or something on the side. I like the idea of this, but I still have a lot of open space to think about that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put the telegram. The telegram has this little curve here, which kind of fits in perfectly right here. A stamp with an address. Let's see. Probably, let's see. So that's too big, too big. Yeah, not that I pulled out, Pam. I think, yeah, not that I pulled out. So let's go with this. I wonder if hats. You know, it's funny when you're actually taping, you can edit out, you know, your thought process, but when you're live, you really can't do that. So you guys can see my thought process as I'm going along here. That would be another one that was good there. All right. So I'm sticking with my archival black soot. Yeah, the address of the shop. I think that's a good idea. I don't have a stamp. I mean, I might have one in my stash somewhere. I just didn't pull one out. But yeah, that would be a good idea. But you know what? I can probably create something like that, because that's what I do. But yeah, I think that would be good to have, like, you know, something, you know, street or whatever. All right. And that's a little crooked, but that's all right. I can live with it. Okay. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna mix up my stamp sets here. Let me remember where this goes. This goes with this one here. I don't want to mix up my stamp sets. I like using my stamp sets, you know, mix matching, but I want to make sure they end up with the same set. All right, so that looks pretty good. My telegraph stamp is crooked though. All right. Let's see. I have so I have remnant rubs that have addresses. Let me see what I can find with this. So that's looking pretty good, I think. Let's see what I have here. Orders attended to day or night. Not really sure. I don't necessarily like all that open space there. So that's what I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I think maybe numbers. Let's see. Now I don't have to fill up all the empty space, but sometimes I like to. All right, so I think I'll put this here. I always like numbers. I think they are great additions. All right, so I'm going to use my stylist here. It's funny how one card takes so long, you guys. But once you have the design, I mean, you can make multiple. That's what I like. Once I have my basic design. All right. Thanks, Sherry. Took me a minute to get there. All right. Okay, and then maybe something there. I don't know. Let me see. It can't be big. I don't want anything big, but maybe something right here to fill the space. I mean, maybe another number. Maybe the feather. Oh, I know. Maybe I could put my little wax seal. Yes. Oh, I get to use my wax seals. What do you think? Do you think that would be good there? Like a little wax seal. So let me see what I have. I have this feather, which might look kind of cool. And then I have this, which would be kind of cool too. But then I also have the T for Taylor. And even though my last name is Taylor, this is Merchant Taylor, right? So maybe a T, the letter T for Taylor would be kind of cool. Okay, Sherry, thanks for hanging out with us. All right, I think I'm gonna do that. Yes, all right. So I'm going to mat this on black. So let's do that first. Yeah, we still have lots of leftovers from Christmas dinner, so we'll just be warming up dinner tonight. We had a ham and homemade macaroni and cheese. Oh God, that macaroni and cheese was so rich. It's so bad for you, but it's gone. Okay. Go ahead and trim this down. So yeah, sometimes when you have big stamps, you just have to make the card base fit the stamp. So that's why I just stamped on an oversized piece of paper first, and then I'm just going to make my card size accordingly. This is probably a bigger card than I would ordinarily make. But like I said, I wanted to use my whole label here. All right. All right. Now what I think I'm gonna do is I have this T for Taylor, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use it because it would work. I think it would work. And it's round. I wanted something small. I wanted something round. I want something it's not going to catch on fire here. All right, so I've got this, and I think I want to do it in like a copper. So I've got these little wax things here. All right, and then I have this. I was so paranoid. We went and saw Spider-Man last night, and we were getting ready to take off, and I'm like, oh, hold on, let me check something, because I ran back in here to make sure I had blown this out, and I had, but God, my memory just is so bad these days. I was afraid I had forgotten to blow it out. So I was paranoid. And I had this little paper clip sitting on my desk. I don't need it, but why not? I'll add it for interest, right? And this is warming up. I think that's gonna look cute. A little tea there. All right. I could have put hats too. I have these. I think I'll do another card and I'll put hats on the next one, but I'm loving how this is looking. I think it looks really good. And I get to use my hot wax again, so I'm excited about that. All right, so that's warming up. I want to use these hats at one of the designs, so I'll have to come up with something with that. We'll do that next. I'll make a couple of cards. It looks like we've been live for about 46 minutes, so it's not too bad. This is warming up nicely. I probably should just leave it alone. All right. So yeah, so this tea here I got along with all of these. And this was like the vintage set. So I did the heart yesterday. And I'm gonna do the tea today for Taylor. And it's got the brown. I think it's gonna look real good. Oh, I'm excited. All right. I think we're almost there. I think that looks so good. I need to get like a pin or something to stir it around a bit. See the smoke coming up? All right, I think that's good enough. Blow that out because I'm paranoid. Oh, my smoke. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this on. Hopefully I don't ruin it. Trying to get around as round as possible here. And then make sure my tea is right side up. And you're not supposed to put any pressure, you're just supposed to let it sit there. So hopefully that'll come out right. And then clean this up before all the wax dries. It's still hot. Okay. And I'm just letting that sit there a minute. I probably needed to spread it out a little bit more, but hopefully the tea will come out good. Oh, not bad. I wonder if you can lift it up, straighten it out. I don't know. All right, so there's my tea. Not exactly what I was thinking it would look like, but I wonder if I could I could probably reheat it and do it again. Let's see. So I wonder if there's a way to get this up. I have razor blades. I like the idea. I don't love the execution. I'm making a mess here. Okay, so I'm gonna go with it. I wish my T was straighter, so that's one thing I gotta make sure my T is. Or you know what I might do next time is I might actually do this separately rather than right on my paper. And then that way, if it doesn't come out completely round, I can redo it. I have, hold on. So I have a razor blade that I might be able to get it up. Because I want to put the wax right in the same spot. Yeah, I like the organic look, but yeah, having it on parchment paper lets you have some forgiveness. I'm going to re-pour it, but I want to get it up here. Let's see. If nothing else, I'm determined. All right. So that's what happens when you pour hot wax. So I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to cover this. So I'm not overly worried about it yet. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. I'm not going to panic yet. Okay, so let's try this again. And I think I'm going to use, yesterday when I did it right on my paper, it came out good. Put a brown bag and heat it with an iron. Yeah, especially on paper because it's going to tear. Alright, so we're going with the same colors. Can't really use this one because it's got all the paper on it. So I wonder if I should do I wonder if I should do it on parchment paper this time. I wonder if it would stick to this. I wonder if I can do it right on this. I'm determined not to ruin my card here. All right, so this is melting again. The paper absorbs the wax. All right, so I am warming this up. We're gonna try again. I want my T to be straight. I wonder if I could put like a little mark to show exactly where my top of my T is. Let's see. Okay, so here's the top right here. Oh, you can't see that. Just want to make sure my T is straight. I should just go get wax paper. All right, so I didn't have wax paper, Pam, but we're gonna try it with tin foil and see if that works. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. So I want to get a little needle to be able to stir that around. I know this isn't a good idea. Sometimes you just go for bad ideas. Okay. And as long as I wipe it off right away, I'll be all right. Okay, so we're going to try this again. Blowing that out because I'm paranoid. Okay, I'm going to pour this here. Okay. And then my tea. Of my tea is right there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I can move it. See, I waited too long. It's already starting to dry. All right. So clearly I'm not a professional at this hot wax yet. But I'll get there. It's hot. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm not loving it. I mean, I guess that's better. Yeah, to get it, do they have those? Actually, that's not too bad. I can see my tea on that. And that will kind of cover that. Yeah, a little spatula, something. I'm gonna look on their website to see if they have any other tools that I can get. But let me see if I can maybe camouflage where I messed up. All right. So I'm going to use my tea. I'm going to put that there. And then I guess I can just glue down my hot wax, right? I mean, plastic palette knife. You know, I have a plastic palette knife that I got with my Scan and Cut that probably would work, but I'm afraid the plastic would burn. All right. Something like that. I think that looks pretty good. Something to scrape out all of the extra wax that's in there. All right, so I'm adding my glue. Pam, good thing you're leading me along here. And this way I can get my tea straight. I like the organicness of pouring it right onto the paper, but boy, that is not forgiving. All right. Well, hopefully I didn't ruin it. I still think it looks pretty good. So I'll let that dry. All right. Well, I think I want to do a few more cards, but I think I'm going to stop streaming for now I definitely want to, well, no, I'm going to do one more card, I think. Popsicle stick, that's a good idea. Yes, I can scrape all my extra wax out. Yeah, that's a really good idea. All right, so I'm going to put that aside. It came out pretty good, I think. All right, so I have, oh yeah, I have my backgrounds I want to use. So I have these. I'm going to make another card. Let me put this aside. All right, and put this aside. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to go with the hats, I think. So I think I'm just going to use this paper for background. And I'm not sure what size I'm going to make it. Let me just trim it down and see what I have to work with. So let's see. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I might just, how to measure for hats. I like that. I don't know. All right. I like the idea of putting my hats. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. That's funny. All right. Okay. I don't know. Maybe just the ad? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. Okay, so I don't want to waste everybody's time while I try to figure out what I'm going to do here. So this is what we created today. I'm going to create a few more masculine cards off camera because I have everything out. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. So like I said, I'm going to try to do some lives every day this week just to hang out. Normally I'm working at this time, but since I'm not working, I can play a little bit. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And let me see if I can transition back here. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, that was fun. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this onto some cardstock. I think it came out all right with the wax seal. Not too bad. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and keep playing a little bit here. But I appreciate you hanging out with me. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what time exactly, but I'll put another post out there to let you know exactly when I'll be coming out. So that's it for now, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. All right.